Well, good afternoon to all of my beautiful coffee beans. I'm Bullhorn Betty. We've been covering the case of Sebastian Rogers for 2.5 years. That is correct. 2.5 years. This young man had a day over the weekend. He went to bed. He never was in his bed. Allegedly, when his mother awoke the next morning, they had the largest child hunt. I don't want to call it a manhunt. But they had the largest search and rescue in Sumner County history, Sumner County, Tennessee. This child's never been seen again. And we're listening to his mother and his stepfather and learning some really devastating news that it's potential. They let a few things go with their friends, and now their friends are starting to speak up. And now we're starting to learn a little more things that we didn't once. And the question is whether or not we believe them. That's going to be covered today. Let's listen to Katie.
Bullhorn Betty rocks.
So come on in, get comfortable, grab yourself your beverage, and let's start chatting. Don't forget to tell the coffee club, hey.
Coffee steaming, files on the table. We clocking early, hunt what's unstable. Bullhorn Betty on the curb, voice raised. Flip-flop queen with the homemade phrase. Notebook thick, got the screenshots flag. Names in red ink, every rumor, every tag. Late night live stream, screen glow on her face. Truth in her throat, got a lawman's pace. She don't blink when the threats roll through. Come see me, she says, if you think that's cute. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. We hunt bad guys till the sun comes up. From the front porch steps to the courthouse rug. We fighting for the ones that they gave up. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. Sip that truth from a styrofoam cup. From the quiet streets to the madhouse buzz. We ain't letting go till we get that justice. Insane Asylum, that's our crew nickname. Laugh so loud while we track these names. Whiteboard wild with the webs we spin. Pen to pen, see the pattern sink in. Thermo shaking when the case goes cold. We stir it back up, won't do what we're told. Doorstep question, side eye stare. Where were you that night? We hanging right there. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. We hunt bad guys till the sun comes up. From the front porch steps to the courthouse rug. We fighting for the ones that they gave up. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. Sip that truth from a styrofoam cup. From the quiet streets to the madhouse buzz. We ain't letting go till we get that justice. This for the faces on the milk cart labels. This for the families praying at tables. This for the names that the news won't say. We say them out loud every single day. Every day. If you're running in the dark, better feel that fear. Betty got a bullhorn right in your ear. Coffee club crazy, but we think so clear. One small town, whole world gonna hear. Hey! Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. We hunt bad guys till the sun comes up. From the front porch steps to the courthouse rug. We fighting for the ones that they gave up. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. Sip that truth from a styrofoam cup. From the quiet streets to the madhouse buzz. We ain't letting go till we take red
I need to do this fade thing. What in the world is going on? I gotta figure out. I can't remember how I did that the last time. Between the screens. Doesn't fade like my other one did, you know? Like, it just cuts it off. The other one kind of faded in and faded out. And I know it was a setting. Hello, everyone! You guys have made it to the afternoon of the Bullhorn Betty channel that is carved out just for Sebastian Rogers. He was 15 years old when he disappeared on February 25th, 2024. Has not been seen since that day. Mother reported him February 26, 2024, which was the Monday. Around 6:33 a.m. is when the specific call came into the Sumner County Sheriff non-emergency line. Very interesting, non-emergency line. And why they chose to do that is, again, very, very, very interesting. A lot of the stuff that we learned has not really panned out, right? For example, we learned that as soon as this mom found out that her son was not in his bed where he belonged, she searched around the house, looked here, looked there, and then immediately called her husband, and they immediately called law enforcement. So you can imagine our surprise when we found out that the call into law enforcement didn't happen until 6:33. That's what we refer to as delayed calling. We talk about that a lot here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. If you guys are not familiar with what delayed calling is, it's a red flag, okay? It's a red flag indicator for a lot of us in true crime. And basically what it means is that usually when a mom has a disabled child and they know that that disabled child went to bed, and that disabled child is supposed to be in bed, when that disabled child is not in bed, they're like, there's something up right here. And they know it. They don't need 30 minutes to convince themselves. They know their disabled child, one that has autism, so, behaviors and exact behaviors daily are what he kind of thrives on. So him being spontaneous is not part of the, the autistic side of him, okay? Not spontaneous at all. Actually, being autistic is just the opposite of spontaneous. As a matter of fact, just the opposite of spontaneous. So as a mother that walks into a room at 6 a.m. and doesn't find their child, they're panicking. Okay? And I can promise you what feels like eternity is only seconds. So you can imagine how quickly a mother picks up the phone and dials 911. So whenever we hear stories where mothers, especially of a disabled child, not even a normal child, a disabled child, one that she knows should be in that bed. Some of us have children. Some of you guys might have had a Betty. My mama had a Betty, okay? And I gotta tell you, sometimes she might walk in my room and Betty might not be in bed, okay? Not that I was supposed to be in bed, but my mama wasn't too worried about me. She was more pissed off than worried, okay? If you get my drift. I'm just saying. So we could understand a delayed call with my mama. And I can almost promise you, even with my mama knowing that I might be missing, I guarantee she picked up the phone immediately and dialed 911. What you bet? We'll have to ask Mama Bullhorn, because I'm pretty sure she did. Even knowing how much shenanigans I was in my teenage years, I still bet you she called the 911 very, very quickly. It probably didn't even take her 33 minutes, and I was a troubled child, okay? I just want to remind you, if you're new to the Bullhorn Betty channel, we talk about my troubled childhood, because I got a little sister after me, and I still can't figure out, I don't know what my mama was thinking, okay? And we're glad she's here, okay? I love my little sis. But, I don't know what my mama was thinking. I mean, if I was the last excuse for a child, I'm not the one that thinks that she'd be popping up and saying, hey, I want to do that again. Okay, I'm just saying. I don't know what the heck she was thinking. But we got a little sis. We got a little bullhorn. We got a little bullhorn, all right? Little bullhorn. Anyways, getting back to this case, Sebastian hasn't been seen since, by a third party, February 25th. Although his mother says she heard him from the bedroom. It's so hard to believe anything Chris and Katie say when it comes to this story. But before we get started, I do want to remind everybody. Oh, I forgot to put the goal up. Hold on, I got to do a goal. Hold on here, guys. Baghetti-o. Can I do a goal from here? Well, let me do it lets me do a goal on the Windows. I love Windows so much better. I really do. Oh, no, it won't. Oh, it doesn't give me any options. Dad burn it. Well, let me question and answer set goal. Well, let me set it. Oh, let me set it. It'll let me set it for $5, but I want it for $20. So what we're doing right now, and I don't have the goal put up. Let me put the goal up. Let me put the goal up. So we have a goal from this morning that's carrying over to today's show. So let me go ahead and put it in we'll do 2 hours. We're not going to be here 2 hours, I don't presume. We're looking for about 10 more super chats of $20. So we've got a raffle. So this is for legal expense. And so our friend Andrea, we met her through this case here, has sponsored a bag, a t-shirt, and a coffee mug from Sonia's shop in an effort to help raise money for my legal funds. So we're selling a raffle ticket for $20. Most people are only getting one, right? And you're going on a spinny wheelie thing, and you're going to get that nice, and let me show you what it looks like. It's nice, and it's good quality too. It is like a what are the canvas bag? Is that what those things are called? The canvas bag. Here you go. So you get a canvas bag. Oops, I can't go all the way over there. You get a canvas bag, a shirt, and a coffee mug. You can make a match, which some people do. You can make them different. There's a lot of products out there, but this is sponsored for you, so it's customizable. It's not set in stone with what you see, what you see over here. So you can put anything. Sonia will show you what you can put on all these, and you can get your own. So if you guys would like to be part of this, please consider, throwing $20 into the chat. This is for the legal expense and giveaway. Way. Okay, so there you go. Give away. We did very good this morning, and we're calling the Sonia. Is Sonia in the chat? Yes, she is. I think we're calling the winner on this show. Are we calling the winner on this show, or are we calling the winner in the morning? You'll have to see what she says in the chat, but I think we're calling the winner on this show. So let me pop this back out. It's so weird being on this computer. I gotta be honest with you. It's so weird. The raffle is good until tomorrow. I don't think, hold on. No, I thought Sonia said until today. She was doing it until today. Are we doing it until tomorrow? I thought it was I told the people this morning it was just for today. So I think because I told the people this morning it was just for today, and we collected, half of the donations this morning of the 20 that I needed, we collected. I think we're going to do it, but we're going to be calling either tomorrow or this afternoon. That's what I'm trying to find out from Sonia. So we'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out, guys. But this is the prize. This is the drawing. This is what the raffle is. So thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we just put the numbers up there. Thank you. Oh, CME, you already. Good luck. I love the passion. Aw, you little stinker. You supported the first channel, you little stinker. Okay, well you get two. You get two. I wish you the best. I wish you the best. Good luck. Good luck. Oops, I just took my little thingy. Good. Okay, yeah, it's today. We're pulling the the number today. So whoever's gonna win is gonna win whatever today. CME, thank you so much. That's really sweet. We appreciate you. But there's also other things. If you guys would just like to donate and get a shirt, any shirt from this will go to our legal fund. We'll call it today. Sonia will call it today. Perfect. So anybody that would like just a shirt for our legal fund, you can just order a shirt through Sonia, and there's proceeds from every shirt that goes to my legal fund. So I really appreciate her for doing that. And we have been writing articles on our Substack. Right now, we're not really asking for paid viewership. We hope we get some paid viewership. I hope through my articles, you guys will like those just as good as you like over here. I also have the way to go live and put videos up over here on Substack. I'm not ready to roll all of that out yet. This is just more for our publications. So if you guys would like to go over there and get subbed up, and that would be great. We have different articles. So far, I'm keeping all of my articles related to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers free because of the age of his case, and we just want viewership back on his case and eyeballs on his case and help looking for him. I am putting this out here. Oh, thank you, plant lady. Oh, good Good luck, everyone from Texas. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All of my articles on Substack as well as X are not being put behind a paywall or any requirements for membership or anything. So you get all those articles free of charge, and that is going to be forever until we get this. Thank you, Peggy. Thank you. Until we get this. So good luck, everybody. This is going to be one of 20 people are going to be getting a swag bag. So it is so good. It is so good. So what I've been doing is, for these articles that aren't getting a lot of attention, I've been playing them on my show, and it usually takes about 10 or 12 or so minutes. So I think I'm going to do that right now. I want to thank, we have 111 people already in chat. This is really good. This case has been losing some attention to it, and it shouldn't, because I know that the stepfather and the mother would like us to forget about this case. I truly believe that. I truly believe that in my heart and soul. I believe their mother, his mother, this child's mother, Sebastian Rogers' mother, Katie Proudfoot, wants to move on with her life. I truly believe that. And as sad as that is to comprehend, the bottom line is we still have a missing child. We still have a missing child. We still have something that's just not right here. Somebody that's throwing people in jail, somebody that's constantly threatening people with their life. I mean, this is the same man that just threatened Elevated Truth. He threatened me in public, saying he was going to run me over. He had his stepfather come and stalk me. All of these are true, and these are the hate channels. These same people that are right now flipping the script on this man and trying to cover up their poor dealings. Those were the people that tried to manipulate what was going on to me. They were absolutely trying to downplay what I was going through out there, because they were a part of it. And now all of a sudden, these same people want us to believe that they were somehow conned and bamboozled. I think not. These people know exactly why they were hired. Oh, Outer Banks throwing her hat into it. Don't forget me. Thank you, Outer Banks. Dreaming of blue skies and sandy beaches. Thank you, guys. Good luck. Good luck, everyone. Good luck. So where do we go from here? Well, I can tell you that the mom and the stepdad came on a panel after Elevated Truth, one of their friends that they befriended, that they were talking all this sexual stuff to, because they have an open marriage. Allegedly, I don't know what has gone on. I don't personally know. This is all rumor and speculation brought about by Elevated Truth. But we heard about these things early on in the case that were dismissed, because I had my feelers out and I was being honest about the case. You know, I wouldn't let people, even though I don't like Katie, I'm not letting them attack Katie on something that she didn't do, like sleeping with the neighbor. And everybody had been talking about them being swingers and all this other stuff, and I shut it down very early on. We had enough for them, right? We had Chris giving her an ultimatum. Like, we had enough to gnaw on. We didn't need to make stuff up, right? But think about it. We put that on the shelf because there was no way to provide evidence to those statements, whether unless we have videotape of her going, back and forth between the houses. We don't have any evidence of this, and I'm not going to sit there. I mean, we've got plenty to disparage this lady over that we have, that's justifiable, that's legitimate, that we don't have to speculate for. But from everything we're hearing from multiple people, now you got to understand, it's not just coming from Elevated. It's not just coming from Elevated. I did hear Gaping Lake, right? Now, Nonsense, I don't know who Nonsense is. I don't know if she likes Betty, she hates Betty. She's probably the people that she's hanging around with. I'm pretty she's a Never Betty fan, right? Never Betty. So I really don't care, right? Thank God I'm not. Thank God they are never. Can you imagine? Thank God they are Never Bettys. Yes, guys. I do want to take a moment and do want to address this. We do know Dolly. Just in the last couple hours, we learned about Dolly Parton's passing. 80 years old, country legend. She was just a legend. I don't like people saying country legend, because I feel like she goes so much further than country music. She was an actress. She was a mom. I got to tell you, one of the front row Joes, our beloved Jewel, she is from Tennessee. And this was probably many moons ago, and she tells this story, but she actually has been in Dolly Parton's home, her childhood home. She's met Dolly Parton's family, her mom and her dad, and they're just as normal as all of us. And she just happened to, I can't remember if she was looking for them or she was looking for something and ended up accidentally winding up on their land when she was trying to find another something. But either way, she ended up meeting Dolly Parton's mom and dad, and actually was invited back for dinner, and her husband didn't believe it, and as the day is long, they ended up going back for dinner and having dinner with Dolly Parton. Now granted, my beloved Jewel is a much elderly lady, okay? She's white-haired, much older lady that has a farm. She likes to make, what's that stuff? Elderberry jam. She loves elderberry jam. Apparently it's supposed to be really good for the body. I don't know much about that, but it is what it is. Anywho, we do. She did live a solid life. She was amazing. She was amazing, and I think that her legacy is probably going to reach your great grandchildren or beyond. Right? I feel like her legacy is going to be here for generations to come. But she was, think about it. This lady was from a different era, and she was able to keep, herself in the spotlight for all these years. She's been able to, she just got life. There was so much stuff that there was just nothing she couldn't do. Like, she was a farmer. She could handle herself like a man. She was an alpha female, believe it or not. It's just, I don't know. It's just amazing what she was able to accomplish. They don't make people like her anymore. They really don't. She forged her future in a different and much more difficult time of our women in her upbringing, in her days, didn't have a lot, weren't meant to be a lot. So just to throw that out there, there are some pioneers, and I feel like Dolly is one of those pioneers, a pioneer that we don't even realize all that she has pioneered. I think that we're not going to realize the true gravity of her legacy for years to come. That's just my opinion. Anyways, getting back to this is about Sebastian Rogers, and I thought this was an interesting article that I wrote a few days ago, and I think this is kind of, because we're talking about Chris and Katie. We're going to be listening to the same, blah 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 blah. I could go on. I could literally go on for an hour like that. Right? Because that's what, I swear, every time they open their mouths, that's all I really hear. That's all I really hear. So, oh, Deanna, it's nice to see you. I've been in the bushes on the verge of tears because of Dolly passed, and I know it's heartbreaking, but you know what? We've been knowing for a month, for at least months. I don't even want to say a month. It's been months, it seems like. I've been worried because I've been getting the reports that she was not doing well. Believe it or not, I think they thought she was going to die a month ago. There was something I remember reading, and it was very, very concerning. The family and her people were begging for prayers for Dolly. Begging for prayers for Dolly. I believe that was like 2 months ago. Might have been longer. So I know she's been very, very ill, but I saw her on a couple of events since then, or at least sometimes they post things and it looks like it just happened, but it could be something that's older, so I don't know if she had been on, but it looked like, if I'm not mistaken, that she had done a couple of events, and I thought, oh, she must be doing so much better. This for me was a little unexpected, but whenever I looked back and remembered, just a few months ago, how ill she was, it was scary because I thought we were going to lose her back then, and she pulled through. And she was with her husband for forever. And people that are truly in love and they lose their partner that they've had for forever, there's just something about being with somebody for years and years and years. You lose yourself. And a lot of people, when they lose their loved one, they don't last much longer. And what did he just pass away last year or something like that? She did a lot of great things, that's for sure. She never, she was a very humbled lady. I think it's the kind of people in the industry we don't get anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's so damn greedy, and they're basically pimping out their own clientele with all the drugs and stuff like that to get them hooked. I mean, that's basically what it is. I mean, it's just a pimping game anymore for these people, and I think that's a poor business decision. They're killing their clientele. You know, she's been very healthy, but she's from a different era. They weren't doing all this crazy crap that they're doing now. Like, everybody's lost their ever-loving minds, the way I'm looking at things. So going back to this, we're going to take a few minutes. This should be like 10 or 11 minutes worth of intro, and then we'll dive back into Katie, Chris and Kay. I think we're on Chris's now, right? Chris is now going to be involved in talking and trying to smooth things over. And I can tell you, that guy right there is a compulsive liar. I will give you a prime example of just how good this man is. So we were at court. And they have to let them, because they're the ones that took out the protective order. So they're so scared of Big Bad Betty, right? And so we have to wait for them to leave. So we're standing up there on the 5th floor looking out the window, making sure that they've all, left the building and gotten their vehicles and have moved on. So, I mean, we had a lot of people there. How many people did we have? We had more than 10 people. I want to say between 15, I think we had about 12 and 15 people, maybe even as high as 20. I don't think it was as high as 20. I think it was like 10, maybe 15 people, 10 to 15 people. I can't remember the exact head count. And so we're all up there just looking. We were sitting there talking, and then we were just looking out the window, making sure they all left, because we were all going to go down and just move on. And they are just down each other's throat. I mean, Chris, you got Kathy Bowersox's mother, and she's screaming so bad, and Terry Lynn, that she's got this vein just throbbing. Like, we could see the vein. We're on the 5th floor of the building, just popping out of her neck. Chris is screaming at her. She's screaming at him. They're screaming at Terry Lynn. It was like a freaking cat fight. I was like, oh my God, I think they're going to hit her. I think she's going to get hit. I mean, we're narrating this stuff. My attorney's like, what the hell are they doing? So he comes up behind us, looks out the window. He's standing there. He's watching this nonsense go on downstairs on the 1st floor. And we're like, oh my God, they're going to hit. And so I didn't realize my attorney left and went and got like one of the officers and told him, like, look, you need to get these people out of here. And they must have went down there and dispersed the people. But we're watching all of that on the floor. Him and his mother, him screaming in his mother's face. Like, they were screaming. And so I went on, I was there. I jumped on my live, and I was telling this story about how they were screaming at each other. Kathy Bowersox got this blood vessel, like, ready to explode out of the side of her neck. It was freaking nuts. And he's on Queen Bee's channel, and my story got back to him. And just as smooth as everything, he's approached with this off guard. He wasn't prepared for it. People are throwing it into the chat as I'm saying it. And he just dives right in and smooths it over just like butter. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's good. Like, he is really, really good. He's slick. Oh, Narita. Thank you, Narita, into the mix of things. Thank you, my love. But he was really good, and he was slick. Like, he didn't skip a beat. He didn't beat a sweat, not nothing. It didn't bother him, not nothing. He smoothed right into it. He's like, do you really think a southern mother would let her son scream at him like that? And everybody's like, oh, no, of course not. I'm telling you, we had 12 witnesses, and I'm telling you, they were down each other's throat, and he went on there and lied, and he lied so smooth, like I said, didn't he even skip a beat? Just his brain just, and I'm like, ooh, he's good. And that's what gave me that whole sociopathic part that I think that he might be suffering from, which would bode with the narcissism and the 5 wives and like the psychological profile being built about Chris Proudfoot. Like I think that man might be close to a psychopath. I mean, I'm not a medical practitioner. This is, entertainment. Do your own research. This is not medical advice. Let me bump the brakes and get all my legal jargon out of the way, right? But just how he acts, it's just so psychotic to me. It really is. It's just psychotic to me. And the fact that he doesn't mind, like he has a missing stepson and he's threatening multiple people's lives. Over the last 2.5 years, we have multiple people that have felt threatened with bodily harm from, and have been threatened with bodily harm from Chris Proudfoot. And I don't understand why law enforcement in Tennessee doesn't have a problem with this behavior. You can't tell me people aren't calling it in. I believe people are calling it in. I believe that they have evidence of this man, threatening people, which the last time I checked is still a crime. So if people are turning this stuff in, why isn't law enforcement acting on it? That's a first question, right? So we need to dive into that. We're going to get into Chris and Katie. I'm going to listen to this. We're going to play the audio of this article that I wrote a few days ago. When did I write this? On the 21st, and it was based off, I think, one of our live streams from the 19th. So we'll go ahead and let this play. It's 13 minutes. 13 minutes. 13 minutes.
5 weeks after the federal filings, Sebastian Rogers' mother and stepfather finally spoke. Here's what they said, and what they wouldn't. For 2 hours on August 19th, Chris and Katie Proudfoot answered questions for the first time since Seth Rogers took Sumner County to federal court. They said, "We haven't been arrested a dozen times." By Bullhorn Betty. Katie Proudfoot did not intend to stay long. "I am not going to stay very long," she said, "but what I am going to say is..." And then she stopped and apologized and started again. What followed was roughly 90 seconds of the most direct public statement she has made about her missing son in 2.5 years, delivered in a voice that broke twice. "We are not predators. My son is not a predator." A pause. "I did not stand by and watch or partake in anything inappropriate with my son. I did not put my son in a trash can." Then, he deserves so much more respect and dignity than what he is getting. It was August 19th, 2026, 2 years, 5 months, and 24 days since Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers was last accounted for inside the Stafford Court home in Hendersonville, Tennessee.
I do want to say that if you guys would like, if you like these articles where you can get them, and you can get them before, because I'm not going to be playing all these every time we come on here. This is just kind of to dangle the carrot out and say, because a lot of people like these articles, and I want to show you guys where you can go get these articles, and it's on my Substack account. Okay, these are on my Substack. So if you're not in, it's free of charge to subscribe to my Substack. Some of the articles are for my free, for everyone, and some of them are for my paid subscribers. So just FYI.
And 5 weeks since his father filed 2 federal lawsuits that pried open a set of state records the public was never meant to see. Katie Proudfoot has given interviews before, mostly to Nashville television stations, mostly short, mostly in the company of her husband. What happened on August 19th was different in kind. She and Chris Proudfoot broke their silence on a YouTube channel, appearing on a live panel for roughly 2 hours and taking questions from a rotating cast of independent creators and from a chat scrolling past too fast for anyone to read all of it. Nobody was managing the room. Nobody was steering away from the hard parts. That is worth something. It is also why the transcript requires scrutiny. Over 2 hours, under no particular discipline, people say what they actually think. The argument they came to make. The Proudfoots arrived with a thesis, and they repeated it with unusual consistency. Nobody has been arrested, therefore there is nothing there. It surfaced first from Chris Proudfoot, in the register he used for most of the afternoon, impatient, profane, faintly amused at the people asking. You don't think for 1 second that y'all, if you think that these creators or anybody on this internet knows anything different that law enforcement doesn't know, I don't know what to tell you. You, I guess you live in a world of fairy dust and unicorn farts and rainbows. And then, flatly, law enforcement has exactly every single thing that everybody else knows, and they probably have more. The panel picked it up and ran it back to him for the next 2 hours, in a dozen variations. If anything was factual, then they'll be arrested. They'd at the very least be suspects. They're not arrested. People comparing it to other things is ridiculous. When a viewer pressed on allegations that had circulated the night before, Chris Proudfoot's answer was the same shape. If he experienced this all 2 years ago, why hadn't there been an arrest by now? This isn't a new experience for him. This is old. So why wasn't there an arrest then? It is, on its face, a reasonable thing for an accused person to say. It is, on its face, a reasonable thing for an accused person to say. It also proves almost nothing, and the Proudfoots know it because they said so themselves. 20 minutes earlier, discussing another missing child, someone on the panel noted that federal involvement guarantees nothing. There's a lot of kids that are still missing with FBI involvement or not. They're not like the end-all be-all. Both things cannot be true. Either the absence of an arrest is dispositive proof of innocence, or law enforcement outcomes are an unreliable measure of what happened. The Proudfoots deployed the first proposition about themselves and the second about everyone else inside the same conversation, and no one on the panel noticed. What Chris Proudfoot volunteered about the landfill. The most substantive disclosure of the afternoon came unprompted, when Chris Proudfoot decided to address a rumor about a garbage truck. His account. A video exists showing a truck stopping in front of their house and collecting their trash. He says he has seen that video. He says he has never seen the version circulating online that supposedly carries audio of the truck straining under unusual weight. Then he explained what law enforcement did about it. What we were even told by law enforcement was that when they talked to the trash guy, the guy says that the trash seemed, and listen to what I just said, seemed to be a little heavier than normal, but they dump it. And law enforcement got a search warrant. They went to the landfill, had a cadaver dog, found our trash. He added that investigators telephoned the household the morning they went. Set aside the rhetorical hedging around the word seemed. The italics are his, delivered as vocal emphasis. What he described as a search warrant, a landfill, and a cadaver dog applied to the contents of his own household's garbage within the window of Sebastian's disappearance. He offered it as exculpatory. It is also confirmation from the stepfather's own mouth that the theory was serious enough to put in front of a judge. He does not say what the dog found. He does not say whether anyone told him. The subjects that were closed. 3 times across 2 hours, a question landed and the door shut. The lawsuits. Asked directly whether the Proudfoots were now involved in litigation, Chris Proudfoot said, "Unfortunately, yes. They are in the middle of 2 lawsuits. I'm going to leave that alone. There's litigation. I'm not going to talk on it." He then talked about the case, the investigation, the agencies involved, the search, the tips, and his own private communications with creators for another 90 minutes. Later, discussing his own separate litigation, he made the distinction explicit. "Am I speaking to you or anybody else about what's going on in the court case? Nope. Right. Doesn't stop me from having a discussion with somebody." That is a coherent position. It is also a position that lets the speaker keep every advantage of talking and none of the exposure of being pinned down. A safe word. A panelist raised it carefully twice, offering an exit both times. Katie Proudfoot took it. "I mean, some of this is just not meant for YouTube." When a viewer tried again an hour later, she cut it off before the sentence finished. "I don't want that brought up." The private conversations. This is the one that matters most, and it requires care to report responsibly. Over the preceding 24 hours, another creator had gone public with claims about conversations he says he had with Chris Proudfoot in the early months of the case. Claims that were, by the description of multiple people who watched all 4 hours of it, graphic, foul-mouthed, commentary that concerned Sebastian directly. This publication is not going to detail them. Sebastian Rogers is a missing child with autism, ADHD, and a rare chromosomal disorder who cannot answer for himself, and the specific content of those allegations has no plausible bearing on where he is, or do they? What is reportable is how Chris Proudfoot answered. He did not deny that the conversations occurred. He confirmed them and characterized them. Some of the topics unfortunately had a lot of sexual topics, but they weren't. It wasn't the way it's being presented. Earlier, he had framed the same discussions as being about Sebastian's behavioral issues and had said plainly that they would not be made public. Is it discussions that will come to the public light? No, they do not need to come to the public light. He offered one defense of substance, and it deserves to be quoted exactly because it is either completely dispositive or completely unverifiable. Any conversation that was had is 100% stuff that was told to law enforcement long before. Nothing in that conversation was a secret from law enforcement. If that is accurate, the material is in an investigative file in Sumner County and has been for 2 years. If it is accurate, it also means the stepfather of a missing child chose to relay it to a rotating set of internet content creators over the telephone, creators with whom, by his own account, he maintained ongoing personal relationships. "I've got Truth's fucking phone number," he said at one point. "I've been on the phone with Truth, Clue, Cletus, they've been there. I don't care who the fuck's got a 3-way conversation recorded. I don't give a fuck." Nobody on the panel asked the obvious follow-up. Why those people? The plane tickets. There is one exchange in the transcript that has nothing to do with Sebastian and everything to do with how the Proudfoots have conducted themselves toward the people covering them. A panelist asked Chris Proudfoot whether he had offered to pay a creator money to attend a court hearing. He interrupted to correct the record, and in correcting it, said more than he needed to. "I will answer that truthfully. I never offered money. I offered if she could come. I even offered, hey, I'll buy the plane ticket if you can, because the whole ordeal, because Betty was going to be there. It was going to piss Betty off. You abso-fucking-lutely right. I did." Then, for clarity, did I offer to pay money to give these people money to come? No, I offered to pay for a flight. He is drawing a distinction between cash and airfare. The distinction he is not drawing, the one he states outright twice, unprompted, and with evident satisfaction, is the purpose. He offered to fly supporters to a courthouse because a particular person he was in litigation against would be present, and because their presence would upset her. That is not a statement about a missing child. It is a statement about what the courthouse was being used for. What Katie Proudfoot said about her son. The last thing worth reporting is the only part of the afternoon that could conceivably help find Sebastian, and it came when someone finally asked her a question about him instead of about her. He was 15 and 5'5" when he vanished. He is 17 now. I believe that when he went missing, he was in the middle of or coming towards the end of a growth spurt. He's probably been through another one, I imagine. His hair was dirty blonde but darkening. Very likely a darker color than it was when he went missing. He had started to show a shadow of facial hair, a few hairs, and by now would have more. He is a toe walker. He's always like the ball of his foot, kind of a walker. We have like physical therapy. We've done a lot of work with him to help him walk more like heel to toe. She does not believe that has changed. Gait rarely does. He runs leaning slightly forward with his arms straight behind him, an imitation of an anime character he loved. She described it and then said, "It's cute. And there are freckles on his neck." She wanted people to know about the freckles. That's one of the things that I think could help people that don't necessarily know him to know it as an identifying mark.
2.5 years to talk about the freckles.
Because I know that there are several children similar of age that actually do look very close to Sebastian. There is still no officially released age progression image. She said the agencies have what they need to make one. Then, quietly, after a long pause, "I shouldn't have to imagine what my son looks like right now. I should know." Where this leaves the case. Neither Katie nor Chris Proudfoot has been arrested, named a suspect, or publicly identified by law enforcement as a person of interest, and both have consistently denied any involvement in Sebastian's disappearance. Neither of Seth Rogers' federal lawsuits alleges that either of them is legally responsible for it. Both are directed at government agencies. Those suits seek $10 million from Sumner County and $15 million from the Tennessee Department of Children's Services, and their allegations remain allegations until a court says otherwise. What has changed is the record. The DCS complaint reportedly draws on the agency's own investigative files. Files describing a 2022 investigation opened after Sebastian disclosed sexual abuse suffered in California, and a 2023 investigation opened after a report that his stepfather struck him in the stomach, which the complaint says Chris Proudfoot admitted, and which the agency closed 3 days later as requiring no services. It alleges DCS documented that Sebastian said he felt safest with his father, and that he qualified for a federal designation reserved for children at imminent risk of removal from the home. 9 months later, he was gone.
Section or Title IV.
For 2.5 years, that material was confidential. It is confidential no longer, and the reason it is not is that a father went to federal court. On August 19th, the 2 adults who were in that house went on YouTube and had 2 hours to address it in front of anyone who wanted to listen. They talked about deodorant and hair appointments and whether the neighbors think they moved. They talked about how much the internet has cost them. They said more than a dozen times that nobody has arrested them. They did not, at any point in 2 hours, address the contents of the child welfare file. Nobody asked. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is 5 feet 5 inches or taller, with dirty blonde to brown hair, brown eyes, and identifying freckles on his neck. He has autism spectrum disorder, severe ADHD, and 6q27 chromosome deletion syndrome. The Amber Alert remains active, and the FBI is offering up to $50,000. If you believe you have seen him, call 911 immediately, or the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation at 1-800-TBI-FIND.
And there you guys have it. There you guys go. Let me put my face back up on here. There we go. Hey, guys, I'm here. I keep doing that. You guys can see by the top of my screen. There we go. All right. So that was another article that was written. I think one of the first articles that I wrote after Katie and Chris went on this live stream. And I found some contradictions, which I did write an article about some of the contradictions that are on there. That's another article that we have on the Substack. So again, get over to the Substack, check them out. I'm dropping an article or two. I just did one on Mitch McConnell. There's a lot of different things I talk about, mostly true crime, but there are other things that I do. I do local articles every now and again, national articles every now and again on national issues, and then of course our true crime stuff. So it's just a little bit of, hodgepodge of different things that I do and I'm interested in. So get over there, check that out. We'll get away from playing these on the channel, but because I'm trying to promote that social media platform, that is what's bringing us here. And this is from Lauren from Facebook, and this is one of the items that I was trying to show you the other day when our computer just did a face plant. It's when we had the MacBook Pro hooked up, and the MacBook Pro was just cluggle. There was just a lot of things going on with the MacBook Pro. It was just dying under the stress of all of this. Thank you, Seth. Thank you. We'll put that up there on the platform there. And anyways, she's sitting here. Right under here is a Granny's watching comment on, this is when he lost his shit. I can tell by the shirt he's wearing, the hat he's wearing. This is when he threw all the stuff off the table and just lost his stuff. He seems to be, in all estimation, a man that cannot control his behavior, and that concerns me when I hear he's married. I'm sorry. As an abused woman, that does concern me. Some of the things that I saw were very triggering. But either way, this is what Granny's Watching writes down. Apparently, Chris and Katie made you uncomfortable with Katie hitting on you too. With Katie hitting on you too. T-O-O. You too. That implies that Chris is hitting on people, no? And that's right out of Granny's own mouth. And then she's going to sit up on her platform, in my opinion, and appear to lie or deceive what she says. Look down there. Let me take this off so you can see her comment. If you need to go to the screen, blow it up. There it is right there at the end of the comment right there. You see it? There she is right there. And so I'm going to read it to you, and just in case it's too blurry for you to see on your end, it says, apparently Chris and Katie made you uncomfortable with Katie hitting on you too. T-O-O. And as I always stated, they are suspects and strangers to us. If you said that all this time, why has your clique been beating up everybody that has called Chris and Katie suspects? I have went under more scrutiny from this asshat of felons than I have with anybody else over me calling Chris and Katie out for their bullshit when it comes to the Sebastian Rogers case. But it's okay now, 2.5 years later, they're okay doing it now. Now it's okay. Okay, we got the permission from all these felons from this hate squad, right? These liar squads, these people that are hired to do this in every case. And mark my words, watch. Because all you guys that are coming here for the Nancy Guthrie case, you guys are just getting your first round of all this true crime YouTube stuff. Okay, these animals here, they prevent cases from moving forward. What they end up doing, this is the thing, and you guys will see it yourself, they cater to the criminals. So if you have a case where it's obvious that it's the parents, like say a child's missing, you believe that child is deceased or harmed or, you know, in some cases sold. This day and age, right? And there is statistics for the e-commerce aspect as well. So let's not get past that, right? So it's obvious that it's the parent or parents. And these people say, oh, you know what? You're going to be attacked by Bullhorn Betty because she's going to come and she's going to realize that you're the criminals. But don't worry. You come over here and you come on our show and let us interview you. We'll get you and we'll protect you. We'll protect you with all of our stuff. And trust me, we'll get you over on Queen Bee. And she's an animal. She's a felon. She doesn't mind doing criminal conduct or anything like that. If you really want to, we can help protect you. And so all these little cockroaches go around these evil people that can hurt children, and they try to protect them. And mark my words, you're going to find this in this case, the Sebastian Rogers case. You're going to find it in other cases, and you're going to find it in future cases. This is what I call, they get pay rage. Okay? They get paid for rage. That is what they do. And so don't get sucked. If you're here for the first time, don't get sucked into these things, because these ladies, let me tell you about them. Most of them have had drug problems, which, you know, in all fairness, I have too, right? Many, many, many moons ago, back in my 20s, I got clean. I've been on a trajectory since 2008. Have I stumbled? Yes, I have. It has not been a perfect walk by any stretch of the imagination, okay? But it gets easier. It does get easier. At the end of the day, these people have never changed. Not once. They're still doing the same shenanigans. They're still doing drugs. They're still partying. They're still having their children taken away from them, or their children are getting hurt under their roof, and they're blaming it on maybe an older child or some other thing like that. Okay, this is what you can expect from this clique of hate channels. And listen, the fruit don't fall too far from the tree, and the birds of a feather truly flock together in the hate squads. Okay, and they're so disgusting and pitiful that even all the haters can't even stand each other, because they're so sideways and always conniving that all the connivers on these streets try to hang out, and guess what? They end up stabbing each other in the back. Right? Like, what do you expect? I'm glad I'm on this side. I'm happy to be with all the lovers, okay? The people that want to do good in these cases, right? I don't want to be with all this drama, but that's what they do. And the reason why I'm educating you on this, because the next case, you're going to see these same people, and you're going to see the same issues coming up on the next case, right? They're going to flood the person that's the criminal, and they're going to try to protect the criminal, and they're going to try to intimidate the people that are truly trying to help in the case. This is their whole shtick, okay? It's a criminal shtick, but it's their whole shtick. And it's, you know, this is where RICO comes in, right? This is where RICO potentially could come in. So monitoring all of this, and going to continue to monitor it, because like I said, there's no shame in my game, okay? I'm going to tell you right here and right now, everybody knows where I'm going with this. I want to see Queen Bee, Burnt Toast, and, right, that blank screen. I want to see them in jail one day. I really do. I want to see them in jail, because what they are doing is dangerous and it's criminal. And so that is my goal. That is my ultra goal, is to make sure that their criminal conduct eventually has consequences. That's what I would like to do. Okay? And if you know anything about me, everybody always used to say I'm shady and I lie. I don't lie. I tell you exactly what I'm going to do, and I work on doing it. And that's the problem. That's going to be a problem for all y'all. Y'all have fun now. Y'all have fun now, but I promise you, I will be the one laughing last. Okay? And my laugh is going to be the only one that matters. I promise you that. I promise you that. So she says, oh yeah, I forgot about this. So Granny obviously is sitting here saying that she was flirted with too. He's flirted with. She's flirted with. These are people that are missing a child that have befriended these people to help them find their child. Why is there any sexual conversations even had behind the chat or otherwise? That seems so inappropriate. Thanks, Sonia. We'll make sure we have his computer privileges revoked when it gets to that point. I ain't scared of you, Betty. That's what you say there, punk. That's what you say there, punk. Yeah, you don't have to worry about me. You don't have to worry about me. The worst thing you have to worry about whenever I come into town is filling you up with good food, right? Like filling you up to the point you want to pop. Unless you're too upset to eat, which we've had some of those dinners as well. So, yeah. Yep. All right, guys, now comes the stuff we really don't want to deal with, right? We don't want to, oops, let me move this back over here, put it behind the screen, because, you know, these dirty, scurvy is, you know, we want to make sure that they don't have any room to sit here and try to come after old Betty. See, I don't play these games, but see, whenever I have to deal with these scurvy bitches, guess what? You got to play a game. Even just to hold them accountable to their own words, you got to play these stupid games. It's like they come over here, they pull my stuff, they pull my stuff. It is what it is, right? Once upon a time, and I will tell you, I will start attacking if they get under my skin. If they do what they did before, I will absolutely start, yes. But I digress. At the end of the day, when they're just talking and doing whatever, I don't really care. I don't really care, and people do it all the time. They used to. I'm not as... They've tried to, what is it? If they don't talk about me, they think that nobody is going to come over here and watch me. The best thing that has ever happened is them shutting the bleep up and going and dealing with Brittany J, right? They just changed the target. They left me and started targeting Brittany J. Apparently they can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Or they're scared of being sued again. Which I think is more of the reason. Her bullhorn is busted unless Sonia fixes it. It is not. It's missing a battery, okay? Yes, there's a few things missing off of it, okay? But it's hard. You can hardly tell. I can see it because I hold it, okay? But if you were out there and you were standing even 5 feet away from me, you wouldn't even be able to notice, okay? Yes, Sonia needs to fix it. And it reminds me, I was cleaning things up because Mama Bullhorn came by earlier today, and I found the box with your grandson's hat in it. I just need to put the address on it and take it up to the mailbox thing. So the Real Me Too, reach out to me and give me your address. I'm going to take it up there tomorrow and pay for the shipping, and then I'll tell you what the total is, and you can send me whatever. So it's no longer bedazzled. Bedazzled, okay. It is bedazzled. It's only got a small little thing, and it was when one of my green screen fell back on my table, and it fell off, and I'm like, no. I know why he keeps trying to distract me. He doesn't want to hear Katie or Chris's voice, and he knows that's next. That's why he keeps trying to pull me into a different conversation. Seth, I know what you're trying to do here. I see what you're trying to do. If you're in the chat, you're gonna have to listen just like everybody else, okay? None of us want to listen to these two people. I can promise you. The blinged bullhorn is broken. No, it fell. It kind of got a little roughed up. It still looks good. I mean, because it looks good. I mean, I make it look good. I'm just saying, I make it look good. Yo, you did not just do that. Oh, no, you did not. Just saying. Don't forget I'm the talent, okay? Like, I can shut this live stream down and you guys will be back to twiddling your thumbs. I'm just saying.
Nothing.
Oh, gosh. I can already...
Yeah, see, so for the record, actually, the conversations I've had with, and I'm going to be very clear when I say this, Every conversation I've had with all the creators has been the exact same conversation.
I'm just letting you know, Seth. Don't think I do not have some love in my heart for you, because for me to subject myself to this abuse after I stepped away from this abuse, I just want to let you know I love you, my friend. I love you. I just ain't liking you right now. It's for Sebastian. It's for Sebastian. Just remind yourself, it's for Sebastian. Everybody say it with me. It's for Sebastian. It's for Sebastian. It's for Sebastian. Okay, we can get through it. I feel like we can got enough energy to get through it. I need some green hearts in my chat. Put me some green hearts in my chat. I need green hearts. I need green hearts. That's the only thing that's going to make me get through all of this. I can't stand this man's voice. I can't stand these people, folks. We need some hearts, damn it. Okay, we're going to try this again.
Conversation. It does not change. There's no story. They can all sit down and compare their stories in their notes. Nothing is changed. It's the same story. Now, what Truth was alluding to, there are some things about Sebastian when we've had conversations, people wanted to know a little bit more about Sebastian.
I just would like to know, how did the sex toys come up into the conversation? Sex toys for $200. Sex toys for $200. How did the sex toys get in the conversation? How does the conversation about a 15-year-old boy have something to do with talking to a bunch of women in a chat room in the middle of the night about sex toys? Please clarify that for me. I would like to know.
And behavioral and things like that. Yes, we have had those discussions. Is it discussions that will come to the public light? No, they do not need to come to the public light. I think there's already been somebody out there who's done enough damage 1,000,000 times over to Sebastian alone.
Yeah.
And he knows who I'm talking about, and I don't care. Everybody is entitled to have your speculations. You are absolutely entitled to have it.
Unless you're Bullhorn Betty, then they want to shut you up, they want you arrested, and they want to run you over with their vehicle.
You don't
Apparently I have that side effect to criminals.
think for 1 second that y'all, if you think that these creators or anybody on this internet knows anything different that law enforcement doesn't know.
I know Chris and Katie lied. I know that. I would think that these a-holes right here would know it too, but I definitely know that. I know that I challenged their statements that they made, and there's holes all through it. I do know that. I know they ain't being forthcoming. I know that they're lying. I know they're lying through their teeth, and I know Chris Proudfoot wasn't at no damn job at 5:15 in the morning. I definitely confirm that myself. You ain't taking that from this girl here. Maybe that's the reason why I went to jail. Possibly why I went to jail. Because when you tell people you're there at 5:15 in the morning, I go there and find out the crane men don't get there until 6:30. Well, we got a problem. Especially since the call into law enforcement came in at 6:33. Well, it sounds like he made that call directly from his truck, parked out in front of his job. Not from the crane. Out in his truck. Out in his truck. Out in his truck.
I don't know what to tell you. You I guess you live in a world of fairy dust and unicorn farts and rainbows. I don't know.
I told you I took that statement verbatim. Just thought I'd throw it
Law
out
enforcement
there.
has exactly every single thing that everybody else knows, and they probably have more. Take that in consideration. You know, this whole thing about Truth getting attacked and nobody stood up for him. I don't know. We don't keep up what's going on.
Who attacked him? Why would they attack him? Oh, did they attack him with the truth? Did they attack an elevator with the truth? That he's lying? That all of these people up here are lying? They had all kinds of inappropriate conversation when a child was missing. They knew better. And they hid that from the whole entire world, covering the ass of Chris and Katie Proudfoot that have a missing child. I just want somebody to justify how that is okay. Please. Come on, Granny. You got so much to say about Betty for the last 4 years. What say you? All I can say is you guys are dirty. You guys are scurvy. Absolutely dirty and scurvy. Thank you, Kim. Kim is in the drawing. We appreciate you, love bug. Thank you for keeping Sebastian in the forefront. Pray he's found soon. Amen to that. We're ready for him to come home. We hear there's a possibility of that happening after his birthday. I hope that happens. I hope it happens sooner than later.
Some people will send us a message and say, hey, check this out. Or they'll send us a message asking us a question. I will answer it, and we go on about our business. So,
and if you don't send them a question, well, they'll put a protective order against you, saying that you assaulted them, that you threatened their life because you chose not to ask them a single question. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
What if Clue and Cletus have gone and gotten their hair done with Katie? Clue went and got her nails done. Who cares?
I think the whole world cares. When you have a missing son and you can't even get your ass out there to look for your son in the woods and never have in 2.5 years, but you got time to go do your hair and your nails, I think the whole world has a problem with that. Who has a problem with that? Put a 1 in the chat that you have a problem with somebody acting like that. Can't get off their fat ass to go out and look for their own damn son. But Shirley doesn't have a problem lifting that rump to go sit it in a freaking hair salon or a nail salon. Interesting. Interesting. Who has a problem? I have a problem with that. I'm a 1 all the way. I got a problem with that. I think that's wrong. I don't know about you, but I definitely think that's wrong. I absolutely think that's wrong. What's wrong with that? Everything. I'll tell you what's wrong. Everything's wrong with that. Just like everything was wrong with these 2 yahoos leaving the state when their child was missing. Throwing a frickin' blanket and tuna fish out the door like it was a frickin' cat or a dog. I need my hair done. Who wants to take? No, you need a shave. That's what you need. You need a shave. It is summer. It is not winter. It is time for you to shave that face, okay? You're looking like a wildebeest. I'm just saying. You look like a wildebeest. I don't lie, even in public. Even in public, we are not going to lie. We're not going to lie. What? We're not going to lie. All right, let's go. Let's listen to some more of this bull. I was about to say. Did you guys see what I did? I almost said the bad word. I said shit. I went to go say the wrong word. I meant to say bull. And I had it backwards because I went shit. And I caught myself and I realized I had it a little backwards. So, but we have a button for that too. Okay, let's go listen to this bull snit. Bull snit.
All right.
We go back to the very beginning, and I said if you wanted to have a conversation, we would talk.
Bob's Burger button, man. I love it every time.
Yeah.
Now, if you're involved in litigation,
thank you, Robin.
Absolutely, I have nothing to do with you.
Thank you, Robin. Miss Robin is the one that gave, but it seems like no matter which one I push on Bob's Burger, it's not in like necessarily an order. Like my bullhorn or my BS button, it like resets. If you don't push it for a while, it resets, and you start with a.
Come on now, that ain't even.
You start it all over again if it sits too long. But this Bob's Burger, it doesn't do that. So it you could just be here, and then all of a sudden you.
Wine helps me drink.
And it just, I don't know, no matter what it is, it just fits. The Bob's Burger button just fits on this show. I'm sorry. I never watched Bob's Burger in real life, but the button, it fits on this show. I don't know why.
I've seen something in the chats where it says I'm colluding with some other folks. I don't even know who the fuck these people are. If you got proof, put your balls out there and put it out there to the public. Let's see what you got.
I did, and I got an arrest. I got an arrest warrant and an arrest record. Okay, I took my balls out there. I sure did. I did that. I I did that, and I got oh my God, she's stalking me. She's going to my job. Well, you did bring up your job. You did tell the whole world where you were working. You put that out there in the public. I'm allowed to challenge it. That's journalism. That's not stalking. That's journalism.
To be very transparent for whatever's being held over my head, I certainly did say that there were conversations that made me uncomfortable.
But were those conversations a sexual innuendos, sexual conversations between you and I?
There was nothing like implying like, oh, you want to get in bed with me or anything.
So what was she implying? Because we do have, again, this is where it's coming back to this statement. We like to hold people accountable for their words. And we've got apparently Chris and Katie made you uncomfortable with Katie hitting on you too. Who would the other person being hit on? As I've always stated, they are suspects and strangers to us. And now she's on here instead of speaking like that. So she's speaking out of both sides of her mouth. She's telling elevated truth one thing and telling Chris Proudfoot another. Well, imagine.
The lie detector test determined you are a liar.
Oh! Somebody is, that's for sure. Somebody's lying. Who's lying?
Anything like that by any means, no.
Between you and I?
There was nothing like implying like, oh, you want to get in bed with me or anything like that by any means, no.
Okay. So what you're referring to is the stuff that we just spoke on about Sebastian's behavior.
Yes.
Okay. There we go.
And the Sebastian's behavior seems to make GW uncomfortable. Miss Caping Lake Jr. Senior 2.0. What? 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 I don't know. I don't see how sex toys come up with what Sebastian's 15 years old. I don't understand how he would have sex toys. Oma Thinker, you are a liar, 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 liar. CP, you are horrible. Yes, 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 Oma. Yes, Miss Oma. Absolutely.
What's so hard about clearing the air on that? Am I going to sit here and get...
I don't think she agreed with that, but you can tell even in her voice that's not what she's talking about. She's just agreeing with him.
Everybody, every single detail.
She told, I can tell you right just by the way she answered that question. Listen to her voice. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going back 20 seconds. I want you to listen to how she answers that. She is speaking to Chris. She told Elevated Truth something different than she tells Chris. How do I know that? Because the way she stops, the way she kind of softens her speech. Listen.
Like implying like, oh, right, you want to get in bed with me or anything like that by any means, no.
Well, listen to this when he says,
okay.
about Sebastian.
So what you're referring to is the stuff that we just spoke on about Sebastian's behavior.
Yes.
See,
okay.
Yes.
There we go.
I don't
What's
believe
so hard about
the way she said that. I don't believe it. I think she's just not wanting to talk about it in public. Whatever it was, she doesn't want to talk about. I don't believe her, though. I don't believe her. It's something else.
Clearing the air on that. Am I going to sit here and give everybody every single detail of what we were speaking of? No, I'm not.
I think the true crime community is entitled to know. I think they've kept enough from the true crime community. This is a child.
It's none of your fucking business.
It's
but
everybody's
Chris, let me
business
explain
at
something.
this point.
Everything is getting twisted.
Nothing's getting twisted. It seems like GW once again is stirring the pot for clicks and view and for that rage pay.
That was said about Clue and Katie going for nobody cares. The problem is.
What did she say? Clue and Katie
everything
going
that
what?
was said about Clue and Katie going for nobody cares.
Going for what? What starts with an N? Going for what does that mean? Going for, that's what she said, going for.
Thing that was said about Clue and Katie going for nobody.
Who are they talking about? Going for who? Are all of these people swingers? Thank you, Denise. Thank you. We appreciate you, my love. We appreciate you. Thank you. Denise is in the contest. Thank you. She is scared of him. He has the inner rage seeping from his voice. You can tell. Well, maybe. But she's up here. Obviously, she told Elevated Truth something that he blurted to the whole world. I mean, at that point, you might as well just stand on it. You either said it or you didn't. But she's sitting here trying to play both sides of the fence here.
Nobody cares. The
Okay.
problem is,
I can tell you, we all care. We care. We want to know.
Everything that Truth laid out yesterday is what everybody's going on. So all the comments you're seeing in chat have everything to do with the bullshit that Truth laid out yesterday. The conspiracy and, how subs feel that if he alluded to the fact that Clue and Cletus and Granny and everybody knows that you guys are guilty and the Sebastian went in the trash can, all of this stuff was said yesterday.
Well,
so everyone in chat.
I don't mean to interrupt you, and I'm not trying to.
Okay, now we know who that is. That's frickin' Baldy, right? Cletus. What is it? And maybe I should keep it to myself. We do have some fluffy people in here, and I just want to be disrespectful. I really do. But I don't want it at the expense of somebody else's feelings.
Disrespect you, but again, if we're going to speak on what was said, we need to be playing clips.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I would love to hear those clips from behind the scenes. Absolutely love to hear how you guys were speaking to each other behind it. I think that is a perfect idea. Yes, I do. I think we need to hear every single one of those clips for receipt purposes. If you guys were talking about sexual innuendos, we want to hear in the capacity that those were being talked about. If people are talking about sex toys and referring it to be Sebastian, I think we're entitled to know how the sex toys got involved in the conversation. Because I have a funny feeling they weren't talking about Sebastian. They may have talked about Sebastian as a gateway to get into talking about more adult topics to find out which way these people swing. That's what I think happened. I think Chris and Katie were hunting for themselves some partners. That's what I think. That is truly what I think. And I think that people start talking about this to find out who they want to invite. Talk to a few people, kind of get a little gist of how something like this could happen. It does sound like that's what it was. It's almost like a grooming, if you will, if you were younger, but it's not. These are all adults, but it is trying to feel out each other and each other's comfort level, and that sounds like exactly what I'm hearing being referred to, even with Jessica not saying a whole lot. We're not going to call her Granny's watching. She's calling herself her first name in this. She puts her name as Jessica on here, so we'll call her Jessica. That seems to be her preferred name, so we'll call her Jessica.
I'll pull it up. I reviewed it all last night. I can pull it up. It might take me.
Yeah, somebody get the clips because she is telling the truth.
I will be honest.
He was insinuating.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Clue is and Cletus are dead on. Like if you want to come out here and say something, and
yeah, let's. How many people thinks everybody from the hate channel should throw out all of their conversations? All these clips should be out to the public. How many believe that they need to go ahead and release all these clips to the public from behind the scenes? Every one of them has it. We know Barbecue was recording at one time. Tammy was recording at one time. All these people were recording. Where's your recordings? I think you're right. If we're gonna do this, let's throw them all out. I threw all mine out. Mine are all on my channel. I never kept nothing to myself. Not a darn thing. They came on panel to defend themselves, not Sebastian, from what I'm hearing. Oh, that's exactly what they did. They didn't talk about your son, not one iota. Not one iota. Once again, there to defend themselves. They've been defending themselves since the very first interview. The green shirt interview. They have been defending themselves. Never advocating for Sebastian, never, not once. Never looking for Sebastian, never, not once. But they definitely have plenty of time to get their asses up and go to Mississippi in the middle of a search. They definitely have their time, plenty of time to get up and go to the Myrtle Beach Biker Fest with, what was that, Dutchess? That piece of garbage Dutchess? These people are garbage. They think partying. They think when a parent loses a child that they should be the party animal, that they should be getting them the marijuana, the partying, the meeting and having bikers. It makes me wonder, Dutchie, do you swing? Is that why they were so happy to meet you and your beau? I mean, I got a lot of questions about this family. I got a lot of questions that's being presented here about Chris, Katie, and Jessica, and Elevated Truth, or Steve, however you'd like to speak about him.
You're going to say, well, it's this, and this is what his insinuations are. Okay, once again, I go back to my statement. We don't watch everything. People will send us clips, and then we'll see what you're talking about. We'll answer from there, and we'll go on. I don't have time to sit on the internet like everybody else does. I don't.
Who remembers every time anybody talked about Chris, he was in their chat? Who remembers those days? Who remembers the days when he literally had nothing but time to sit on the computer and watch everybody talk? Remember those days? He couldn't even contain himself. You said anything bad, he was in the chat ready to take your head off. Who remembers those days? Raise your hand. Put a pink hand in chat. Put a pink hand in chat. Who remembers those days? I remember those days. I remember those days. Thank you, Samantha. Yeah. Everybody remembers those days. And he's acting like he didn't got the time now. What's changed? I don't think anything's changed. I think he's been doing the same thing. DNA, it's just hard to believe that you're in the chat. It's nice to see you, my friend. It's nice to see you. It's been a while. Phoenix Moon, hey.
Katie.
Somebody in the chat just said, talking to one of the panel guests, you don't speak for me. Truth don't speak for me. Truth don't speak for Granny, and he don't speak for Queen.
Truth don't speak for nobody but himself.
Right.
And maybe his wife on some occasions, but
nobody.
Oh, so they all piled on to Truth. Truth is sitting there having their back, talking great. I told you. What did I tell you? When we went over his, I said, these are the people that are going to smile in your face and put a knife in your back and bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Is this really that surprising? It is not. These are such scurvy people. They're freaking white trash pieces of shit. That's who these people are. I'll never change my mind, and you'll never change my mouth.
Nobody speaks for anybody except themselves.
Right.
It is
exactly.
I spoke for myself. I sure did.
Yesterday was sick, and it was what he was insinuating was sick. And he brought Queen Bee and Granny and all you guys into it, and that's why I came up here. Not that I believed anything he was saying, but what he was insinuating is making everybody think that it was true.
Right,
that's what my point was.
It was like a 7-hour live. Give me a couple minutes to find it.
I think that he is misrepresenting conversations that were had because, like, Christopher just...
Oh, Katie, Miss, I wanna bop you, big boy. Now she's like, oh, he must have just misunderstood. I bet she's saying that now, girlfriend, now that he plastered that shit all over on YouTube. You nasty. You little bottom-feeding nasty scurvy. I'm just saying.
Spoke to Granny about, we did have conversations about some things with Sebastian.
They always refer to Sebastian. Oh, that's their signal. Oh, they can talk about all the sexual innuendos as long... Do you guys hear this theme? That all this sex thing is all being misunderstood because of conversations they're having behind the scenes about their son. That's what she's saying. How can somebody misunderstand a teenage boy go... How much detail do you have to be... I mean, guys, this is getting really... If this is true and they were talking about this about a child, that is pedo behavior. Okay? I'm sorry. That is pedo behavior. Prove me wrong. Who the hell's all that much involved where they're having conversations about a 15-year-old's? Does that bother anybody here? I mean, because this is what they're admitting to. Publicly, by the way. I'm sorry you have to hear it, Seth. I'm pretty sure you probably already lost your cookies probably the first go round. But this I have a problem with. I don't believe this is going on. No, I believe what elevated them all getting in these chats and being all sexually explicit with one another. That I do believe is going on. This whole thing about they're all live and they're trying to explain this away, so they're blaming it on, of course, Sebastian. I mean, that has been, they've been blaming everything on Sebastian since he's been missing, have they not? They've blamed everything on this young boy. These two people have blamed everything on this young boy since he's been missing. And now they're blaming him once again for this misunderstanding that they seem to have. I'm sorry, there is no misunderstanding. Seth has never had it. There's never been a misunderstanding where I think Seth is trying to get with me. Okay? There is no misunderstanding. Okay? We don't have those conversations about his son. Okay? And if you don't believe me, the man's in chat right now. I don't think him and I have ever had a discussion of that magnitude. I could really get I'm gonna stop. I think you realize that maybe you might want that doesn't sound right at all. That just doesn't sound, they are all bottoms. Oh, good gracious. Sorry, Seth. You are have to continue to deal with all of. He does. He's got to deal with all these knuckleheads, and these knuckleheads know what these people did, and they've been protecting them for 2.5 years. I think they're disgusting. I think they're pitiful. I think they've obstructed justice, and I think they all should go to jail. If you find out when you break the law, listen. People had no problem throwing me in jail when I didn't break the law. I want to throw people in jail for breaking the law. Okay? This is obstruction, folks. What we have witnessed from all these people is straight obstruction of a case, a missing boy case. This is not an adult. This is a child. This is a child. And they're all sitting around talking about him in explicit, sexually profane ways behind the scene. I have a problem with that. And Seth, I got a copy of this, by the way. I got a copy of this. I'm happy to hand it over to your attorneys. I got the full 7.5 hours of this show, even before Chris and Katie went on. I'm happy to give this over to you for you and your attorney. But this is a problem for me. Talking about your son and admitting that you've been talking about your son in explicit ways with a bunch of strangers. And then you have the audacity to criticize. These folks had the audacity to criticize Seth Rogers for advocating for his son, calling him every name in the book. Well, at least we ain't talking about sexual innuendos with about a 15-year-old boy. That's pretty twisted, folks. That's pretty predatory. And all these people, including Gaping Lake, Shamu, Chlamydia, Jessica, and BBQ, and Tammy, were all in these conversations. No nonsense. All in these conversations. Being predatory. Being predatory. And these are people from these hate channels. Predatory behavior. Every last one of them, if this is true, if what Chris and Katie are saying is true. Every last one of them. Predatory behavior. Let's keep going.
And no, it is not a comfortable conversation.
No.
But it's being twisted into something about, we did have conversations about some things with Sebastian. And no, it is not a comfortable conversation.
No.
But it's being twisted into something that it's not.
It's not a comfortable conversation. What conversation do you have a right to have about your son's sexual proclivities to a pack of strangers? So much so that a man believes that you're wanting to S&F him. Doesn't make sense, does it? Does it make sense to any of you? This is disgusting. A whole bunch of people sitting there talking about sexual innuendos and sexual proclivities of a 15-year-old boy. That is the definition of pedo behavior. You scurvy people. Disgusting. Disgusting. Can you imagine if Seth and I did that? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Ugh! These people are twisted.
I will say this.
These people are sick in the head. All of them, even the creators.
About Sebastian is to help the creators combat the bullshit and the lies and the...
Combat what? What has anything to do with what he does behind his closed doors in the privacy of his room have anything to do to combat people out here? Combat what? What are they having to combat that requires people talking about this child in a sexual manner? Can somebody give me one example of where this needs to be a topic of conversation? Anybody? Anybody? This is kind of twisted, don't you think? I mean, this right here is pretty twisted.
The crap that doesn't actually mean any fucking thing to this case.
Then why are you talking about it with a bunch of strangers? He's saying this doesn't have anything to do with the case. So explain why he would be talking about these proclivities with a bunch of strangers. What BS do they have to combat with knowing what he does behind his own bedroom door? Stop it! You're in a troubled adult. Oh, good gracious.
Right. I said that. I said that there are reasons for some of the things I know. And some of it having to do with the fact of what was being used against me during all this court shit.
Oh, so what's been used against you with all this court stuff? What would ever require you guys to speak about anything sexual when it comes to a 15-year-old boy? There's nothing. There's no excuse for this conversation whatsoever. None.
So,
and I promise you, any conversation that was had is 100% stuff that was told to law enforcement long before.
Oh, so we have to take their word for it, right? Because I've never heard any of this. I've never heard of anything sexual. As a matter of fact, didn't they deny the whole sexual stuff way long ago, almost 2 years ago? So why are they talking it with all these people now and here? All these people sound just twisted in their brain over, you know what? This is some sick, twisted snizzit.
Of course. I've always said that as well.
Nothing in that conversation was a secret from law enforcement.
She keeps repeating that. I wonder why. Is she trying to convince herself?
All right, Granny. I got it.
Do we really need to play this? Do you guys want to hear this?
Yeah.
No.
Preferably.
I don't
well,
think
all right.
it's
How about
necessary.
this? If there's a way that you can send me the clip, send it to me directly. Okay. Don't. In retrospect, for respect.
Send the clip. Oh, so he wants to micromanage what's being said. Oh, thank you, Carol Cord. Thank you. We appreciate you helping with the legal fund. Closing us out today. Good gracious. Thank you. Thank you for all your love and all your support. We do absolutely appreciate it. Before the end of the show, we should have that closes out. If you guys would like to donate to the legal fund, you got 5 more minutes to get your $20 in. If you would like to be in the raffle drawing for the items, here's the items right here. It is a tote, a shirt, and a coffee mug. A tote, a shirt, and a coffee mug. And while this does say Stand With Betty, you can get whatever design you want on these, okay? You've won them fair and square. Whoever the ultimate winner is, you can pick. If you don't want anything branded Betty on your stuff, you don't have to. This is what is suggested. If you want something different, it gives you different designs so you can see how they all look on here. Do what you will. Mix and match. Get them all the same. Make it a package. Is somebody's birthday coming up? Now your birthday gift is already done. Who knows? Who knows? Package giveaway. This is help. Thank you all today for helping me raise funds. This is absolutely going to go to my legal expenses. Oh, I got it. I'm talking. You guys can't even see it. I'm sorry, guys. I just got back on this side. I see that big old block in the middle. I'm sorry. So you get this coffee mug here. You get the shirt. You get the bag. You can make them whatever you want. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. We're getting there. We are getting, little by slow, we're getting this elephant eaten, okay? One thing I heard, you know, this is something my dad drilled into me whenever I was a young kid. And he said, how do you eat an elephant? And he said, one bite at a time. That's how you eat an elephant. He just one bite at a time, one bite at a time. So this is our elephant, and we're just getting a little bite and just getting it, you know, little bit. Pretty soon we're going to have 100% of what we need, and we're going to be able to finally put all of this. I think this is the last little bit behind us for this court hearing. I'm praying to God we don't need anything else, okay? Let's keep our fingers crossed. But I think this is, I can't imagine it being any more. I mean, I think we're at the last bit of this. I really truly do. So I want this done. I want this over with. So that's what you're kind of getting. Anyways, getting back here, let's go back to the hate squad, the hit squad, the predatory squad, the one that sits around and talks about, you know, the sexual proclivities of a 15-year-old kid. That's, again, sick shit. And that's what they're saying here. I mean, they're not saying it like that. Of course, they're not saying it like that, but they are pretty much, I mean, that is what they're basically implying, that this has to do with Sebastian, right? That everybody's misunderstanding, like Elevated Truth said that Katie approached him to sleep with him. That Chris and Katie have this open relationship. Chris is gone, right? Chris is on the road. We heard in Alabama, we talked to the bartender in Alabama and some people he worked out in Alabama. Nobody even knew he was married to Katie. He was seeing a bartender while he was down there. And probably somebody else, but I only knew about the bartender. And so the bartender explained this and that. So I knew that he stepped out on her. And at this time, we didn't know because nobody told us they had an open relationship, and people had brought up whether they were swingers way early on in the case, and I diffused that because we had no evidence of that. And like I said, we have enough on Chris and Katie. We don't need to make up stuff. But this isn't stuff we're making up. This is stuff that Elevated Truth has said, and you cannot tell me that he's misunderstood whether or not Chris and Katie have an open marriage. We didn't bring this into the conversation. They did. They did. And they continue to bring it into the conversation when they're saying that people felt threatened or felt, you know, like they were hitting on them. And they're saying, oh, no, you must have felt uncomfortable when we were talking about Sebastian. And I'm sitting here thinking, what would you need to be talking about a 15-year-old boy's proclivities for? If he goes behind his own closed doors and does things that teenage boys do, then why is that up for a topic of conversation in a chat room with a bunch of strangers he doesn't know? And how in the world can that possibly be misunderstood as Elevated Truth thinking Katie wants to sleep with him? It seemed pretty cut and dry. She approached him. I don't understand how that could be misunderstood. And what people are looking to approach a piece while their child has been missing for 2.5 years. They've been so comfortable with this group of nasty people talking this way that they've just gotten to a groove of this is how they conduct their business. This is a child missing, and we got mommy and daddy trying to sleep with the people searching for the kid. If we are to believe that these people actually search for the kid, or that they're actually parents that give a shit about their child, which I don't believe they are. I've never seen them do half the crap that Seth has done. And you know what? Chris has hated Seth for that. He's hated Seth for his passion to want to know what the hell happened to his son. Thank you. I call BS. They're trying to vindicate their poor behavior. Amen to that. Amen to that. Amen to that.
Respect for everyone else out here. It doesn't need to be replayed. I'll hear it. And I mean, don't take this the wrong way. I got Truth's fucking phone number.
Whoa. He just said, he was the one that said we need to bring all this out, right? He's the one that it was Cletus that said we need to bring the message out so everybody can hear it. And she gave him a way out. Instead of after him saying, yes, we need to bring it out, she goes, are you sure you really want everybody to hear it? Did you guys hear that? And he said, well, you know what, why don't you send it to me? I don't think everything needs to be out. What are they hiding? What are these people hiding in a missing boys case? This is obstruction of justice. If you guys want to know what obstruction of justice looks like, in my opinion, this right here is it. This right here is it. Allegedly, and in my opinion, right here. Right here.
Number.
No offense, but out of respect for Sebastian, don't play it again.
Oh, you had no problem talking about it. You had no problem with all of this. Now she's scared for people to hear how they talk. And now they're going to hide it. They all just agreed that it needs to be out in the public. And now they're realizing, oh my gosh, we're about to play this in the public and we're going to be shown to be liars. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't. And now we got Katie on here. Please don't do it for Sebastian. That's what she's saying. She doesn't want to get caught in yet another lie. And they're going to once again protect her. These scurvy ass people have never been here for Sebastian or to find out the truth. They've been here for money. They've been here for popularity. They've been here for a lot of reasons, but definitely not to find out any information about a 15-year-old boy that disappeared in the custody of Miss Katie Proudfoot. Not one of these people give a shit, including Gaping Lake and No Nonsense or whatever the hell that lady's name is. You guys are not going to come here and act like you've given a shit. Now you guys are ready to flip-flop and act like you guys knew what you were doing all this time. No, you don't get to do that. No. Nope. Not going to let it happen. Not going to let it happen. What you guys did was wrong. What you guys continue to do is wrong. We want you guys to release everything. No holds bar, release it. Anything less than that, you guys are manipulating the information. You guys are intentionally and willfully manipulating the people against parents that hurt a child. Hurt him. It's in reports. The father's suing the freaking government for failing to inform him about what he was going through in the house and in the care of these people right here. And you guys are protecting them and continue to protect them over and over again when they don't deserve your loyalty. You guys know what these people did and you are hiding it from the public. Shame on all of you. Shame on all of you. You guys aren't honorable. You're a joke. You're a joke.
Yeah,
I've got his phone number. If I need to have a conversation with Truth, I'm a grown-ass man. I have a conversation with Truth. It's not a fucking problem.
Seems like it is to me.
Truth knows this. I've been on the phone with Truth. Clue, Cletus, they've been there. I don't care who the fuck's got a three-way conversation recorded. I don't give a fuck.
Sure sounds like he does to me.
I think it's also fair to let people know that Truth always questioned you.
He has. He has questioned all three parents. For the record, everybody has. Bullshit. And everybody, that is your opinion. That's perfectly okay. Not one time have we ever come out and said, nope, you can't speculate on us.
I am proof that somebody came out and said that. I am the exact proof of that. So who's lying here? Liar, liar, pants on fire. We got a button for that.
You're a liar! Liar. 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 You're a liar. Liar. Nice try, but you're a liar. Liar, liar, liar. Nice try, but you're a liar.
Oh, and my favorite. And my favorite.
You know why? Fake news. It's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen. The news is fake. That was false and fake and never happened. This fake news was indeed fake news. We don't want fake news.
You're CNN. You're CNN. We don't want your kind over here. I'm just joking.
Not one time have we said that. I will say this, I do, and I'm a firm believer on this. Cletus said it pretty well. These cases should not go online. In the very beginning.
Isn't it funny? I thought everybody was just cool with let's throw everything out on the table and get this on the record and let's play the video. And then all of a sudden it's like time to play the video and everybody's like, you know what, this is not really made for TV. We probably shouldn't show this. It's probably inappropriate. It's kind of giving some weight to what Elevated Truth is saying, no? I mean, if they're so concerned, I mean, they all came out and said, yes, let's play it. Did we all heard them say, all of them agree, right? Cletus went up there and said, I just think we just need to put this out here. And Chris is like, yeah, I absolutely think if he's going to be talking shit, we should really put it out there. And then Jessica, Grandy's watching us, steps up and says, well, should I go ahead and put this, go ahead and play this? And then it's like, now? Oh, no, maybe you should send it to me first. Maybe, you know what, I'll look at it. And then it went from, I'll look at it to, maybe all this stuff doesn't need to be on the internet for people. There's just a lot of stuff that doesn't need to be on the internet for people. What is this crackpot team hiding? They're clearly hiding something. Let's gauge the audience. Who in the audience right now feels like something's being hidden from the public? We have 243 people in chat right now. How many people believe they're hiding something? They don't want something out that's being recorded. Why? One, that you believe they're hiding something. Two, no, this is all above board. You believe everything they're doing here is all above board. One, no. Two, yes. Above board, below board. She has absolutely no credibility. No, she doesn't. Keep wondering, did she ever get her kids back? I mean, I always heard she had her kids taken from her. I never heard of whether she ever got her kids back or if her kids just aged out or whatever. Pretty interesting. She's worried about everybody else's kids but not her own. At least that's just what I heard. Allegedly, in my opinion, do your own research. I'm not responsible for errors and omissions on this channel. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that too. I'm thinking that we got a lot of ones. Yeah, we got a lot of ones.
Very first interview we did with Duchess, we were under the presumption that this community was about finding missing kids.
We are, but we're also about holding people accountable that caused the kids to go missing and child abuse that we find out along the way, which is a lot of the elements that we have in this case. So yeah, we're definitely not the friends of child abusers, that's for sure. We will turn with it. We owe no loyalty to any child abuser. None.
Not fucking drama.
Yet he's the one with all the drama channel candidates. He's got Queen Bee. He's got Granny's Watching, Tammy, Barbecue Lady, Cletus, and Chlamydia. J for J. No nonsense. Molly Golightly. That is the drama channels, is it not? They have nothing to do with true crime at all. They are straight drama. And he's saying he doesn't like the drama, but he's the one that brought the drama into the show. Look at who all he's around right now. Every last person he affiliates himself are not even from true crime. They're from the genre, the hate and drama sector of social media. They're not even true crime. Granny's Watching is not a true crime channel. She can drench it and put lipstick on a pig all day long, but that lady is nuts. And she is nothing but drama and chaos. She is all about the rage pay. That is not what true crime is about. That's what hate channels and drama channels are about. They're about the chaos. That's how they get paid. We don't do all of that over here unless we have one of our dumbass content creators going over to the drama channels, bringing him and inviting him over to our side of the street. Then we start having the problems that we do. That's why I like people knowing we are true crime in order for us to keep our area here free and clear of all this bullshit. We can't be going over there and inviting them over here. You just can't. These people are animals.
Not.
And how disrespectful to all of the families of victims that these people have brutalized to get their rage pay for the criminals in the stories.
Let's be assholes and whatever else, and let's draw up fucking lawsuits on people just because.
Oh, don't even go there. Don't even go there. Every single lawsuit so far has been absolutely 100% justified. Bet your ass on that. And with merit.
Ain't nobody got time for this shit.
Oh, you gonna make time.
And neither alone, let's go financially.
They gonna make
not
time,
fucking
folks.
fun either.
They're gonna make time. You brought me into your world, you get to come into mine. That's how it works, buddy. That is how it works. I didn't ask for it. They did. I didn't go down there to the sheriff's department. They did. You are going to everybody in this story is going to reap what they sow. Everybody. One thing you don't do is you don't bring Bullhorn Betty into a fight. Why? Because by the time I'm done, nobody likes it. Nobody likes it. I can promise you that. You don't ever want me involved in nothing. Because whenever I get involved in it, nobody likes it. Okay? And I'm just all right with that. You know what that does? It keeps me out of a whole bunch of, you know what? Just saying.
Fun. Yeah. The main purpose has been lost. And,
Yes. Absolutely.
What, they must not be making money anymore. Chris and Katie must have quit funding them.
Absolutely. It was lost over a year and probably a half ago when the bullshit happened.
What's the bullshit? I bet you we got a lot of, I think we got a lot of concerted action and concealment going on here. I think there might be a little something more going on that we don't know about, and I think between Seth's lawsuit and my lawsuit, when discovery hits, that's going to be a biatch, because I can tell you there's nothing I got. I wasn't doing all around fuck shit. I wasn't, excuse my language, I wasn't. And I'm telling you, they can go to Google. They can go to whatever. They're going to find out there ain't nothing out of place. Nothing. But you know what? I guarantee you everything behind there is out of place. Because we don't do that. We don't do what they do. They keep trying to tell and convince everybody we do, but we don't. And that's why it's so important for these lawsuits, because when the discovery comes, well, remember, that's the part that Queen Bee didn't want any part of. We closed that right when I started getting her where I wanted her in the discovery. Delilah. It's 5 o'clock. People are starting to come home. She hears the frickin' leaves moving out there. But, yeah, I'm just saying. All right, guys, we're getting close to, I was only going to do an hour. We're already 2 hours in. I'm going to let this last comment go, and then we're going to start winding down the show.
That's when the case was, on social media, that's when it was lost.
Thank you, Lisa.
Some of the things that were mentioned, and again, out of respect, I just want to bring it because it keeps being repeated. And if you don't want to touch on it, Katie, I understand. But the one thing that came up was a safe word. Do you want to explain that from a mother's perspective of what you were going through? And if you don't want to touch on it at all, I understand. Please, I understand. I mean, some of this is just not meant for YouTube, and it's not. Nobody has brought it here for that reason.
They just agreed that we should hear it. They all just agreed we should hear it, and then right when it's time to play it, they all decided to backtrack. These are so scurvy people. These people hide and lie, cunning, conniving, manipulative. Good gracious. These hate channels truly do have it all. People that watch this you guys are stupid. If you support this shit and support these people, you're stupid. Don't come over to we're too smart for you. Don't come over to the Bullhorn Betty channel. We don't want your kind. This is toxicity. We don't like it. You want to change your life? You want to quit getting so toxic? We'll accept you. But we ain't playing. Don't be going over there and bringing your baggage over here. We don't want none. We don't want none.
All right, I know this is going to sound dumb, but we're looking at each other completely clueless here. When you're referring to a safe word, like
Safe
like
word?
I'm in trouble, I need help.
Oh, these are the types of things they're talking about behind the scenes, safe words. Please explain me what safe word Sebastian has. Okay? Please tell me. Because they're going to sit here and say he has a safe word to do something. What's their safe word? Why are they knowing these safe words? And who promoted them and provoked them to have a safe word? And why would a boy, especially a mom that never goes into his room to look on him because he's a 15-year-old boy, and there's reasons why mothers just don't pop into their room, right? Remember that? So why would he need a safe word if Katie's not going into his room to check on him anyways, according to her own statement that she made in an interview? I think with Duchess, as a matter of fact. The other scurvy lady that thinks partying in South Carolina at Myrtle Beach is at a bike show is what a mother of a missing child should be doing. Is the best use of a mother of a missing child's time. These are the people that they've been hanging out with since this child disappeared.
Chris, he's beat the shit out of me kind of safe word, or what?
No. Okay.
That's why
Chris, the beat the shit out of me kind of safe words. So that's telling us that they're into that D&M crap, right? Safe words. And look at how he responded to this. And look how she's like, oh no. So they've obviously talked about stuff like that behind the scenes. You can tell just by the way they're responding and speaking back to one another.
Well,
that right there says enough then. Okay, never mind.
See?
Okay.
Yeah.
And can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
I said this before. I said this before when Seth brought this crap to the YouTube about this horrible stuff. And everybody keeps saying that Katie doesn't speak. Katie doesn't speak. But she spoke up before when Seth brought this crap to the YouTube. And now that
Seth brought this crap to the YouTube? No, it was them that brought this crap to the YouTube. Seth made a comment about comments they made. If we're going to get this stuff straight, let's get it straight. Let's not get it twisted. Who's the first one that brought shit up? Chris and Katie.
This crap is being brought up again. She spoke out again. That's what a mama bear does. So for everybody who talks about Katie isn't talking, no, she's talking when she needs to talk.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't show up. She doesn't talk. She's never there. She's spaced out. Whatever she's on, she's spaced out. She doesn't care about her kid. No respectable mother would sit on their ass for 2.5 years and do absolutely nothing when their child has been missing. Never one tear for him, but a lot of tears for herself. Especially when people starting to realize who her and Chris really are. The people they truly are. The ho, the biatch is. And I mean that with everything that I say. The ho. They are immoral pieces of shiznit. We are waiting on Miss Sonia. I didn't want to close out the show without knowing who our winner chicken dinner is. I think she's computing it now. I want to thank everybody again. Huge applause. Actually, it needs to be the big applause because we hit our goal today. We're every week we got to hit a certain goal, so we make sure we're on target for the attorney fees. And so we sat here and went through. We're going through this and we're trying to find ways to raise money, and this is a beautiful package being prepared. Let me take this off. I keep forgetting to take this image off. There we go. Package prepared that you're getting a bag, a shirt, and a mug. It's $115 value, and that's what it might be even more than that. I was thinking about how much I've spent, so I'm thinking that these are like, everything. So I calculated about $115 worth of stuff here, okay? And this is stuff that's going to last you a while, okay? A good long while. I've had shirts for years that Sonia has sent me, okay? So I know that this stuff is good quality stuff from her shop. She designs it, she prints it, sews it, she does whatever. She puts it stuff on whatever she needs to do with whatever she needs to do. So I just wanted you guys to know the work that goes in and the quality of product it is. This is coming from her shop. So this is sponsored by our friend Andrea. We met Andrea in the Sebastian Rogers case going down there. She was a great help. She always showed up to our vigils. She always just wanted to be part of it and make sure that Seth knew she supported him. And by proxy, she supported me, and I got to be her friend. So I'm very blessed to have met her and her husband and their dog, Banjo. Cute dog, by the way. This is actually not sponsored by her. It's sponsored by Banjo. It's this right here is sponsored by the dog. So I thought that was super cute as well. So Banjo, thank you so much. Audience, thank you so much. And we are waiting for Miss Sonia. Can you pull us a name, please? We are ready for our name. Send that to, oh, you already did. Oh, okay, we got it. Carol Cord. Well, Carol Cord, I think, got 20. What did she get? She got 10 cards. Carol Cord, you have won the stuff here. You have won the drawing. Thank you all. Thank you all. Whoever got that. I just want to show you guys. So we have our receipts. Carol Cord's name was called. I don't know if you guys can see that from here or not, but Carol Cord's name was called. So Carol Cord, get a hold of Sonia. If you need to find out where Sonia is, let me just give you her. Maybe I shouldn't put this up here on this main screen. Let's just do this. Okay. I don't think you care. Do you care? You don't care. You put this all out here too. Yeah, here, just reach out to Sonia and message her, and she'll be able to get you where you need to go. There it is. Okay, she got it. There's Pebbles right there. Get a hold. Thank you, guys. Get a hold of Sonia. There's her Facebook page. Carol Cord, congratulations. We thank you for all your love and support. Get a hold of Sonia. She'll get you that out, get that out to you. The only request we have is when you get the package, if you'd like to wear it, please wear it and model for us. But if you're really shy of being on the phone, just find some place where you can take a picture of it and send us a picture of it if you would be so kind. We do appreciate all of your love and support. You have no earthly idea. Thank you all who all participated in the drawing and everything. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, everybody. This is kind of, a tight spot for all of us to be in, but we're working it. And all these little things, they're adding up. I promise you they are adding up, and they're adding up in such a big way. So thank you all. We will see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Be there or be square. We'll see you on the flip side.